Okay, back in the shop. Today is Sunday. We actually don't have too many updates. I wasn't going to make another video until we got to the race, but I did a poll on Instagram and everybody wanted to keep seeing videos, so this will kind of be a little update video, probably pretty short, but I think I'm going to see if I can get the GoPro in the car and give you guys a little ride along before the race. So what we're looking at is the rally car is just about ready for the race. Somehow we're ahead of schedule, which kind of freaks me out because I thought we'd be rushing to the last minute with the new motor install and everything. But I jacked it back up yesterday. I wanted to bleed the brakes one more time. I noticed that the hydraulic handbrake, once we did the new pads and everything, seems like there's a little bit of a dead zone from like here to here before there's really not a lot of pressure until right there. And when I was using it, it didn't seem to be quite as effective as it used to. So I wanted to bleed them a little bit more, but I'm by myself. So I tried the vacuum bleeder and I did suck some liquid out. It's hard to tell if there was air in it because it uses a compressor, so it's kind of loud. So we are actually going to just put the wheels back on, torque them down real quick, go take it for a test drive, and I'll put the camera in the car. And then we're just gonna do a little testing on it and see if the brakes feel any better and see if the hydraulic is working. It's a little bit wet out, so it's definitely gonna lock the tires up, but I should know if it feels better. And as you can see, our intercom died on us after the last race on the second day. Jason had to do it by voice. So we upgraded to what we should have done from the first place, and we got a Stilo. This is a WRC DES system. Runs on a 9-volt battery, or you can hardwire it. For right now, since we only have a 1-day race and it's just one, I just put a 9-volt in it and ran the nice wires. I've been meaning to do this for a while. Probably won't use zip ties in the future because it could rub on my neck and the co-driver's neck, but for right now it'll be fine. I think I want to put some sort of Velcro system, but they come nicely labeled for what they're supposed to be. And this way, it's right on your right shoulder when you go to plug it into the right side of your helmet. So I've been meaning to do that for a while. Tucked it up out of the way. That's not where it's going to stay. Our old one used to be right here on this cross member, but if you mount it upside down, the driver and the co-driver are flipped. So I'm actually going to try to put it in the dash here. We're going to redo all this in the off season, maybe build out something in the center here because we're going to have map DC CD and everything that's going to have to go here. So we might build like a small box and have the intercom system here or map DC CD here and move some of this stuff around. So that'll be a good off-season project to see what we want to do. I also need to add some gauges since we're going to do a new built motor. I need to add an oil pressure and oil temperature gauge. I've basically been running with just boost and AFRs. I do have a battery voltage gauge, kind of a silly gauge, but when I first got this car, I was running into some issues in the mud and wet that I thought was battery related, so I put that gauge in there. I just never took it out. But anyways, so let's get these tires on and take you guys for a ride, and hopefully the brakes feel good. If so, Jason's gonna come over tomorrow and do a final bolt check. Basically, we just have to put the skid plate back on and it's ready to go, which we don't even really need for tarmac, but I always put that on just to be safe. We did fix that mud flap that was missing. You probably noticed it in some other clips. It got ripped off when we were backing up, and when we were camping, we backed up and hit a slope where the pavement ended, and it touched the tire and ripped it off. So, all right, let's get these tires on and go for a ride. All right, wheels are back on. About to take it for a test drive. Forgot to tell you guys, yesterday I realized I'd actually gotten an email from Will at TSS Fab after we had installed the sway bar end links and whatnot, and I actually put them on wrong. You might see in our old video, there's a bracket that has a C on it and it's recessed. I thought it slid onto the end of the lateral link bolt, but then they twist because there's no way to lock them in. So Will told me you actually need to flip them so the long end's on the top and the short end's on the bottom, and you hammer them onto the hub, and that way they can't spin. So yesterday I redid those, and now they're locked in place, as you can see. Fortunately, I chipped some of the powder coat off hammering them on, but this thing was going to get destroyed anyways. And the lateral of the sway bar end links didn't look like they wanted to line up, so I was a little concerned. but I forgot that the DMS has so much travel more than this car is used to. The end link was actually hitting the rear lateral link, but now that I just set the car down, it's actually got a nice gap and it looks good. So obviously we still don't have the trailing arms on. I did get the right ones in, but I'm not going to put them on now because I'll have to get in alignment, and I'm not worried about that right now. But both sides are on, they are installed correctly, and the sway bars are not hitting, so should be good to go. Now let's take it for a drive, see how the hydraulic feels. I've already tested the intercoms, and Jason's gonna do a quick bolt check, and then this thing is ready to go. Oh, and I have another co-driver again. This is the third different co-driver this year, but 2020 has been crazy, so Matt Vaught is gonna co-drive for me. He's actually the guy that built this cage when I first set it off. So interestingly enough, if you go back like 3 years in our videos, you'll see a title called Bankrupt's New Project Car or something like that, and it's me in a flannel shirt, and this shell is on a trailer with the raw cage. The guy in that video is Matt. A couple years later, now he's co-driving for me for the Tarmac Rally Sprint, so that's cool. Kind of coming full circle on that. Otherwise, she's ready to go, so let's throw you guys in the car and take it for a rip. Buzz around the block. It draws too much attention to really get on brakes take a little while to warm up, so they always feel like trash until you get a couple brakes in them. So we're gonna go down this windy road over here in Mexico and get them warmed up, and then when they start squeaking, they're usually